All right. So truth bomb of the week. Do people actually know that you can help them resolve a problem? So really getting clear on, if I look at my social media, like, do people know that I can solve their problems? Do people know that I have a product or service or experience that I can offer to them? Because if the answer is no, if you're just working on those vanity metrics, you're not making any money. Pull up a cup of coffee and let's get this party started.
We're the uplines you didn't know you needed, but now you have.
This is the podcast for women who are building a direct sales business, but want to do it the right way.
Melanie has a decade of experience in direct sales. She's earned the top in industry 4 years in a row and has grown a multi-million-dollar organization. She gives a no BS approach to leadership, recruitment, and organization.
And my bestie Katy has you covered with the rest. From the relationships, the do's and don'ts of branding, her content has been viewed by millions. She doesn't just talk the talk, but she teaches people how to create an intentional brand too.
All right, let's get this party started. Well, hey everyone, it is Katy and Melanie of the Direct Sales Done Right podcast with another episode this week that we're talking about something that's starting to pop up more and more often on websites and on social media. And we have been using them in our business and we're seeing incredible results. So we thought, okay, it's time to share this with our listeners. But before we do, really quickly, let's actually give a shout out to our listener of the week. Okay. And something really cool we do here at Chic Influencer is when you tag us on Instagram and you let us know that you are listening, we choose a winner every single week. And we give them a private mini coaching session. So if you're struggling with something in your business and you want advice from either myself or Melanie, we are going to do that for you. And so this week, our listener of the week is actually Fernanda Jamie. We just saw her yesterday on a call. And we would love to give you some coaching advice about your business. So all you need to do is send us a message over at Chic Influencer and let us know you're ready for your session and we will get back to you. So this week, we are actually going to talk about case studies. And you may be sitting here going like, what is a case study? I've never heard of this. My upline hasn't taught me this. No one in my company has mentioned these two words before. And although you may think of case studies as something from your dissertation or when you went to college or something you had to prove, case studies are actually incredibly effective for you in the direct sales space. And today we're going to walk you through exactly why.
We are. And case studies are great. I mean, we have really been leaning into this strategy. Mm-hmm. And I actually just wrapped up my leadership mastermind. I was, advertising for that and marketing for that. And I always like to take a step back after we're done and say, what really got people to say yes? And what I loved about that was it was these case studies that I did. Anytime I shared a case study and did that on my social, that was really, that paired with some sort of emotional post is really what got people to sign up. So they're incredibly effective and we are using them right now, whether it's a small ticket item, it's, a customer sale, or it's a higher ticket item where you're doing private coaching or working with clients. So let's when I think about case study, I initially go, oh, testimonial.
Yeah.
Before and after, somebody's before to their after, the before the makeup to the after the makeup. So what's actually the difference between a case study and a testimonial?
Okay, so a case study is a full look at a client's journey and the experience of what it is like to work with you. So where a testimonial might be a before and after, or it might share a little bit of an anecdote or what they've been able to achieve. So for example, I see testimonials all the time for people who are in the wellness space where they just talk about a client who lost 20, 30 pounds and they put up a before and after, but they never really dive into the story that person experienced. And more importantly, they don't really showcase how they were the expert that guided them to results. And I want to kind of talk about the case studies in general. So the first thing that I want to mention about case studies, and this is kind of a disclaimer, is if you are somebody who thrives on likes and comments and high reach and engagement, and you are like, I just want to go viral, case studies are not going to be the way you do it. Case studies will usually have a slower growth, and meaning that they won't have necessarily a ton of engagement. Right. You won't necessarily see a lot of comments, even if you ask for them. You won't necessarily see a lot of shares on them. That's not the purpose of them. The purpose is for it to be a living place for you to give your potential customers real life examples of the experience of working with you.
And then you should see more private messages. You should actually see like your metric for success actually is more people are reaching out to me and saying, I want more information. If you're directing them to a form, they're filling out a form, and you're actually getting people to sign up from case studies. So that's really what we're looking for when we actually say, what's the success of a case study?
So this doesn't do well for people who are all about the vanity metrics. And I'm really sorry if you feel a little bit called out, but here at Chic Influencer, direct sales done right, we're not into vanity metrics. We really do focus on bottom line.
I mean, you sometimes are it's all about what your content is for. If you're wanting to create a piece of content because you just want engagement, you want to get more eyeballs, great. You're looking at whether it's getting shares. But in this case, we're looking at sales.
Yeah.
And isn't that why you're using your social media in the
sales
first place?
and conversation. So just to backtrack for a second, sales and conversation, because conversations allow you to then lead into what that person who's messaging you, what they're experiencing, what their troubles are, and if you can actually resolve them. So I want to go with conversations more than just sales.
Yeah, because if you're just looking at, I'm going off on a tangent on the vanity metrics, because I'm like, if you're viral or you have tons and tons of likes and shares, but nobody's asking you about what you do or your products, you're not really creating any income doing it either.
Yeah. So, and we have podcast episodes that explain the three types of content that we create: brand awareness, engagement, and sales. You need a healthy mix of all three. However, today, case studies are really about brand awareness and sales because they do educate the audience on what you do as well. But I want to just really quickly talk about the difference between a testimonial and a case study.
Okay.
So a testimonial is really just the before and the after. It really is like evidence that what you say your product or your service does is real. Like it really does work. It's really effective. But a case study is more than just a before and after. It is an entire journey that a customer has when working with you. I want to add the when working with you because let's face it, there are so many people who might be in your direct sales industry or a competitive industry who seem a lot like you, but a case study is really what makes you stand apart because you're inserting into the story what you did uniquely to serve that client. So I want to just add that part of it as well.
Okay. What do we do how do we ensure that a case study is actually effective? Because there are you could try to do this and it may actually get no direct messages or conversations. So how do we ensure that it's effective?
So there's a formula for it that we want to walk you through. And if you are a note taker, this is really a good time to get out a pen. If you are listening while you're driving, this is probably going to be where you pause it and you come back to it. But please don't forget to come back to it because this is actually gold.
Or listen to it and then just come back and take notes.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right. So the formula is very simple. The first thing that we want to do is we want to address what the problem was the client was experiencing before they worked with you. So let's say, for example, this is skincare and the client was talking about rosacea and they were maybe struggling with adult acne, and you looked at that problem the client was having, and then you want to walk them through what made that client decide to work with you. So what actually was that aha moment that made the client go, I'm ready to make an investment? And what this does is this shows a connection between your potential customer and a real life customer. Okay. So when they go, oh yeah, I experienced rosacea too. You know what? I'm kind of at my wit's end. I'm tired of just buying random products, spending too much money, just like this customer was too. Then you want to walk them through the actual experience of what it is like to work with you. So did you sit down with the customer and talk about their skincare issues? Did you talk about creating a routine that's really effective because they don't have a lot of time to do like a 10 step skincare routine? What did you do differently to work with the client? Did you troubleshoot in some way? Did you calm their nerves? Did you adjust if maybe they were having an issue? When you insert yourself into the story, you're actually inserting yourself as a brand expert. You are making yourself set apart because you're talking about what you did uniquely for one client. And I'm big on this. You have to be for your customer. You are on the side of your customer. You are always thinking about how you serve them. So when you show somebody an experience of what it's like to work with you, not are you showing how a problem can be resolved.
Yep.
You're actually showing how you are the missing piece between the problem they have and the solution that they're seeking.
Yeah. Powerful.
Yeah.
So powerful.
Yeah. And then the third step is to say where they are now. What were they able to achieve with it? What are the results that they got? And on a reel, this is really cool. You can actually create a picture, like you can actually share a picture of what that looks like for your customer, or you can put it into the caption part or into the actual content part of your post as well to walk through the exact story of where they are now.
Yeah.
The other thing that I encourage you to do is actually collaborate with the actual client or tag them in the post so that people go, I want to see if this person is for real.
Yep.
And then if that person comments back, they're basically giving you a real life in time testimonial, not only through the case study, but in the comment section too,
Right.
which is pretty powerful.
And when you tag the person that you're doing the case study about too, it's an opportunity for you to actually expand your reach, meaning you may acquire new customers that actually are followers, friends of the person that had the actual experience with you. So that's a great way. People are always looking for ways to find new customers and grow their reach. So that's a great way to do it too.
Yeah. And so what I want to do now is we are going to actually share one of the case studies that I did and on my own platform for the Chic branding experience. If you're not quite sure what the Chic branding experience, it is actually a branding experience where I walk clients through how to basically clarify their marketing message, how to create content that actually converts, and really how to speak to your ideal client, help you figure out who your client is. But check this out. I want you to listen to, okay, what is Katy doing in this case study that's different than a testimonial? Let's check it out.
We'll send this to John.
You don't have to play it.
So we don't have to play it? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
We just cut it in.
Okay.
You just guys take a breath, look into the camera,
Okay.
and just come right back in.
All right. So as you can see that this case study was very much to the point. It was quick and it was easy to watch, and it was right away going to attract the person who is maybe struggling with some of the same problems that Dawn is experiencing as well.
Yeah.
So I walked through where Dawn was before she worked with me, the struggles that she was experiencing, the things that she wanted to work on. And then I talked about what I did as the expert to guide her through results.
Yeah.
And then finally, I was able to showcase some of the results that Dawn got because she invested in the Chic branding experience. And I was pretty specific with those results as well, which is really important too.
It is. It's very important. And I will say, even just when you're getting ready to publish your own case study, think about what you want to title it. That, for me, I've noticed, your title is incredibly important because you want people to actually watch it. So if you can give any sort of stat, so I've done one in the past where it's like how Lacey signed up 6 new team members in 30 days.
Yes.
Immediately people are going to go, what? Right? So you want to make sure you're grabbing their attention. And I love in the example that we're showing you that it's not chunked together. Katy really, you actually can see, and we'll link it in the show notes of this podcast episode, the actual Instagram reel that she did, because I want you to actually see, go back to your formula you wrote down. You can physically see the steps of the formula. That is a great just sort of guide to use as you're creating your own case study for your business too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we know that this was a shorter episode, but it was very value packed. I really encourage you to check out a couple of the case studies that we've done through Chic Influencer, Melanie and Katy, so that you can get a feel for what they look like in real time, how we caption them, what we said about them, because it was very strategic, but we want you to know that you can do it for your direct sales business, and it's going to help you stand out in the industry. And that's exactly what you want. All right, you guys, I think that's all. Do you want to give a truth bomb?
Let's give a truth bomb, and I want to give them a homework assignment because I do not want you to listen to this episode and then go, great, I'll get to that later. I want you to actually say to yourself, okay, this is in the next 7 days, I'm getting a case study up, and then I'm going to make it a goal to every single month have at least 2 or 3 case studies that I can share. It also holds you accountable to customer service and helping people get desired results too, and just having a conversation about their experience.
One more thing, can I add that I totally didn't think
Okay.
of? You can do it for products, but you can also do it for your business opportunity.
You can.
By featuring members of your team and the success they've had through your mentorship as well.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So truth bomb of the week. Do people actually know that you can help them resolve a problem? So really getting clear on, if I look at my social media, like, do people know that I can solve their problems? Do people know that I have a product or service or experience that I can offer to them? Because if the answer is no, if you're just working on those vanity metrics, you're not making any money.
All right, you guys, we will see you next time on the Direct Sales Done Right podcast.
All right, so if you loved today's episode, make sure you head over to wherever you listened to the episode today and leave us a rating and review. And also take a little screenshot and tag us on Chic Influencer. We'll feature you in our stories. Plus, we'd love to get your feedback and hear from our listeners.
Until next week, let's make chic happen.